Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of Ranking the Beatles. If you haven't watched my previous 15 videos, I ranked my least favorite to favorite song off of every Beatles record, starting with the UK edition of Please Please Me, all the way through both past masters. Well, today I'm going to be ranking the 13 proper UK studio albums from my least favorite to favorite. As I had mentioned earlier, this is the Beatles, the greatest band of all time. So my least favorite is still probably the best record by any other group, arguably. And then the top 5, 6, 7 are absolute masterpieces, untouched by any other group in popular music history. So without further ado, I will start with my least favorite, my number 13. And I always figured that I had a couple vying for this position, but it wasn't until I really sat down and analyzed song for song which one really deserves to be 13. So I don't know if my opinion will change very much going forward, but I feel pretty confident that these will be the rankings that I will have kind of as my go-to standard. So number 13, Yellow Submarine. Now, I love the proper studio songs on this album. Only a Northern Song is a trippy, cool, psychedelic George song. All Together Now is a fun sing-along Paul McCartney tune. Hey Bulldog is an absolute standout masterpiece of a track, maybe in my top 25 Beatles songs of all time. Epic Paul bass work. And It's All Too Much is just a flat out amazing George Harrison song. Top 3 George Harrison song for me. But, you know, it's bookended by Yellow Submarine, which is on Revolver, which isn't a great song anyway. And All You Need Is Love, which is on Magical Mystery Tour, also a single. Not crazy about that song. And that's side A. Now, side B is all just George Martin orchestration, so I can't even count that. So really, I'm looking at 4 songs, 4 good songs. Only Northern Song, All Together Now, Hey Bulldog, and It's All Too Much, those last 2 being drop-dead classics, but this has got to be number 13. So Yellow Submarine is my number 13. Number 12. With the Beatles. I would call this a sophomore slump. Not as good as their debut, but some of the highlights are equal to, I think, some of the highlights of the debut. It Won't Be Long. That was my number 1 song off this album. It's a song that I didn't love, but through this exercise, it's one that I have a great deal of respect for. I've always liked All I've Got to Do. And of course, All My Loving is the big hit off this album. George's Don't Bother Me is a great song. That was his debut song that he wrote for a Beatles album. But the rest is just a bunch of covers and not even very good ones. So my number 12 is With the Beatles. Number 11. Number 11 and 10 are neck and neck. But for number 11, I'm going to go with Beatles for Sale. Obviously a very cool cover. Gatefold. Beatles for Sale has got a couple awesome songs on it. I mean, it opens up with 2 just fantastic songs, No Reply and I'm a Loser. And those are my numbers 2 and 1 respectively. I'm a Loser took the first place, but honestly, that was a coin flip. No Reply is maybe the better song. But those are 2 great songs. I'll Follow the Sun is kind of a song that I really enjoy. But other than that, I mean, 8 Days a Week I'm not crazy about. I Don't Want to Spoil the Party. That would actually be my 3rd favorite song, and that did get my 3rd favorite song off my ranking of the songs on this. So I'll Follow the Sun would be my fourth, but it's got a couple great songs, but like with the Beatles, this is deserving of number 11. So Beatles for Sale, number 11. Number 10, the debut. And before I did this exercise of ranking every song from least favorite to favorite, I would have put this one higher because the highs are quite good. I Saw Her Standing There. I mean, opens up this album with a bang. The title track, Please Please Me, fantastic harmonies. There's a Place, the penultimate song on the album, fantastic. But then, like with the Beatles and Beatles for Sale, it's just kind of maligned by a lot of covers, late 50s, early 60s, which of course were the influences of the Beatles, which it's how they got their sound, is from listening to those American artists, the Buddy Hollys and the some of the Motown girls groups, Chuck Berry, stuff like that. But yeah, this is a great album. I don't care for Love Me Do, sorry, but this is my number 10. Please Please Me. All right, number 9. Okay, now this is quite difficult because I really like these 9 albums that are remaining are in a class above the 4 that I've ranked already, but I'm going to go with Let It Be. Obviously, this was not intended to be released. It was shelved, and the Beatles went and they released Abbey Road, and then after they broke up, Klein, who was the Beatles manager at this particular period, hired Phil Spector to kind of take the bits and pieces and release an album that had kind of a raw, lo-fi live sound. And there's some great songs on here. My favorite that I ranked was I've Got a Feeling, which is just an underrated masterpiece of a song. Love The Long and Winding Road, even with the Phil Spector orchestrations. I love that schmaltzy kind of stuff, though. I mean, it reminds me of like Richard Harris singing MacArthur Park, or just any Jimmy Webb song, Wichita Lineman by Glenn Campbell. I just love that kind of lush pop orchestration, but that's a great song. Obviously, you got Get Back and Let It Be. Two of Us is also a personal favorite. A lot of good songs in here, but then you got, Maggie May, which is just nothing of a song. Dig It. It just fragments of studio meandering. Across the Universe, a lot of people like it. Not one that I really like that much. For You Blue, forgettable. Great album. Hate to put it at number 9, but there's 8 better. So number 9, Let It Be. Oh boy. Number 8. We're going to go with, so tough. Hard Day's Night. Love this album. Favorite of the early Beatles period. I mean, hands down, not even close. Every song original. Some of my favorite songs on here. If I Fell, was my favorite on my rankings. Love the underrated songs on side 2, like I'll Be Back. You Can't Do That. I'll Cry Instead. Love those songs. Then, of course, title track, I Should Have Known Better. Just fantastic song. But I prefer the middle era and late era Beatles stuff better. So this is my number 8. But the best of the early Beatles, Hard Day's Night. Number 7. I mean, are you kidding me? Help is the 7th best Beatles album. I mean, I love it. Love the title song. You've Got to Hide Your Love Away. It's just this beautiful folky ballad sung beautifully by John. Ticket to Ride. I mean, what do you say about a song it's a fantastic song. It's Only Love, another just beautiful folky song in kind of the same vein of as of You've Got to Hide Your Love Away. And even Ticket to Ride, it's heavier and Ringo's pounded on the drums, but it's kind of a folkier song too. I've Just Seen a Face. It was my number one song off of Help. And then Yesterday, I've heard it 1,000 times, but you can't deny that it's not a great song. So number 7, Help. Number 6. This is surprising to me too. Used to put the White Album as my number 1 desert island album, but it really is suffering from just a lot of mediocre songs. The highs are really good. Dear Prudence, Happiness is a Warm Gun. That is maybe my top 5 Beatles songs of all time. You've got other great songs like Back in the USSR, Helter Skelter. But it's my number 6 because there's a few turds on here too. Quite a few, and the Revolution 9, which takes up a large portion of the B side of the second album. It's just nothing you really need to listen to. So hate to say it, but number 6, and I hate Obla Di Obla Da. So there you go. All right, top 5. My number 5. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Probably my favorite when I was in middle school. First concept album, really, other than The Pretty Things, SF Sorrow. Some of my favorite songs on here. It's Getting Better, Getting Better All the Time, Getting Better. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. And then my absolute favorite Beatles song of all time, A Day in the Life. But you got, Good Morning, Good Morning. You got a sitar, a song, Within You, Without You. She's Leaving Home. When I'm 64, I don't, kind of drags the album down a bit, but, Love with a Little Help from My Friends. Love Fixing a Hole. Love Being for the Benefit for Mr. Kite. Being for the benefit of Mr. Kite, excuse me. But, number 5. Blasphemy! I hear you saying blasphemy. But when you see what the next 4 are, you'll understand. All right. Number 4. Also, see a lot of lists. People put this as number 1, but Abbey Road. I mean, is it a perfect album? Damn near close. I Want You, She's So Heavy, makes my top 5 favorite Beatles songs of all time. Oh Darling, maybe Paul's best vocal performance on any Beatles album. I mean, I put that right up there with his performance, and Maybe I'm Amazed off his self-titled McCartney in 1970. But You Never Give Me Your Money, just a fantastic song. That whole medley of songs on side 2, Because, hauntingly beautiful harmonies, Beach Boy-esque with the Moonlight Sonata played on the harpsichord, or the Moonlight Sonata played backwards. Golden Slumbers. It's Abbey Road, for crying out loud. And that iconic album cover, but doesn't make my top 3. Top 3. So hard. It's like picking your favorite parent. Number 3, Revolver. I thought this would maybe be my number 1 or number 2, but I mean, For No One is top 5 favorite Beatles song. Got to Get You Into My Life. That's a top 25. She Said, top 25 Beatles song. Here, There, and Everywhere. Fantastic song. Eleanor Rigby, I'm Only Sleeping. I mean, I can't really fault this album. Dr. Robert and Your Bird Can Sing and Good Day Sunshine. Yeah, they're okay. Tomorrow Never Knows I think way overrated. People say that's like their favorite Beatles song of all time. It's super cool and super important for the foundation of psychedelic music, but it's kind of in the middle of the songs on here for me. And Yellow Submarine just drags it down. But I mean, come on. The highs are off the charts awesome. So number 3, Revolver. And maybe my favorite cover. Love that Claus Foreman collage with his renderings of pen renderings of the Beatles. So here's the big shocker to me. My number 2 favorite Beatles album of all time. I thought this would maybe not even be in my top 5. I thought Abbey Road would have been ahead of this, Revolver, Sgt. Pepper, maybe even the White Album. I mean, but this is my number 2. Absolutely stunned. And it's really just an EP, but like I said, in my ranking of Magical Mystery Tour, the UK actually adopted what Capitol did in the United States to take some of the singles. And so it's kind of not fair, but I mean, in the canon of Beatles albums, this is considered a proper 33 1/3. I'm not including the Past Masters, which is the other singles, but I mean, come on. You've got title track, super energetic, Fool on the Hill, gorgeous folky Paul ballad. I Am the Walrus, a psychedelic masterpiece. It's top 5. Maybe I've said top 5 Beatles songs of all time more than 5 times, but that's a top 5. Penny Lane got my number 1 on this album, so I guess it's top 5 or 10. Strawberry Fields Forever, top 10. Baby You're a Rich Man, super underrated song. And really the only parts on this album that I don't love are All You Need Is Love, which people would arguably say is a great song. I just don't care for it. I don't think it's a bad song. Blue Jay Ways, kind of a low point. And then Flying is an instrumental. But I love Your Mother Should Know. And Hello Goodbye is a lot of fun. I mean, number 2, Magical Mystery Tour. Huge upset alert. Would not probably get even top 5 for most people, but you heard the reasons why. It's my number 2. I love that era, but my number 1, if you're doing the math, yep, Rubber Soul. Starts off a little slow in my opinion. Drive My Car is not one of my favorite songs. You know, the UK or the US version of this, which I have, has I've Just Seen a Face off of Help, the preceding album. And that was my number 1 song off of Help. So you throw that in, it makes this even stronger. But I'm ranking the UK, and I'm still, even with Drive My Car, which a lot of people like, I'm just not crazy about it. Norwegian Wood, favorite song in the album. You Won't See Me, fantastic Paul song. Nowhere Man, brilliant. Think for Yourself, fun, fuzz bass. Rocker by George. The Word is the other kind of low spot. And honestly, like The Word and Drive My Car are very similar songs to me. Drive My Car is the better song. But, you know, every Beatles song has a couple low points. This one just has less. Michelle. Call it cheesy if you want. I think it's beautiful. What Goes On for a Ringo song isn't bad. Just a fun country ditty. Girl. Fantastic song. I'm Looking Through You, solid Paul song. In My Life, I mean, considered by many to be one of the greatest Beatles songs of all time. Wait is an awesome little transitional number. If I Needed Someone is George's best song up to this point, and Run for Your Life is a lot of fun. So there's my ranking. Rubber Soul, number 1 Beatles song of all time. Magical Mystery Tour, number 2. Revolver, 3. Abbey Road, 4. Sgt. Pepper, 5. The Beatles, or the White Album, number 6. Help, 7. Hard Day's Night, 8. Let It Be, 9. Please Please Me, 10. Beatles for Sale, 11. With the Beatles, 12. And lastly, Yellow Submarine, number 13. Thanks for watching. If you haven't watched my ranking of the songs, they are on my YouTube channel as well as on my Facebook page. If you happen to be lucky enough to be friends with this guy, please subscribe to my channel, though. I've got some covers of me playing songs that are 12 years old, and my skills have improved greatly. And a lot of them were actually recorded when I was recovering from wrist surgery, so I was kind of limited, but they're kind of fun to watch. And yeah, be looking forward to maybe some more reviews. We're getting into the month of October here at the end of the week, and I plan on doing some horror movie reviews too. So stay tuned. Thanks a lot. Have a good night.